Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Play Retro. Today I actually wanted to do a little quick video talking about the all new RG40XX. So a few days ago, I shared a first look at this leaked video of the RG40XX. That's what they were calling it at the time. Apparently it's the RG40XXH. So this is the short I created. So okay, I'm just gonna play the video here in the background. It's just a loop of the leaked video. I don't know what's going on here in the background with the T and stuff. Anbernic, they know what they're doing, I guess. And yeah, at this point I knew it was legit. They have the devices in front of us, you know, they're fully designed, so I knew for a fact this was not fake. So whatever, I posted it, and now we have an official video from Anbernic. So we're gonna take a look at that together, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts and my like kind of analysis of this device, because I'm gonna tell you off rip, I know for a fact this is gonna be the new de facto best budget device. I can already tell. The H was my #1 recommendation. This is a better H, so I'm just calling it now. This is going to be the #1 budget device under $100 moving forward. So without further ado, let's just get started. I'm just going to start pausing the video every so often, kind of talking about things. So right from the beginning, the first thing I notice is how loud these shoulder buttons actually are. I don't know if you guys can pick it up off the video, but they are extremely loud. Let me run that back one more time so you guys can hear the clickiness. Very, very loud shoulder buttons. So I'm not too happy about that. Maybe we can see the black model. This is doing some moonlight streaming. I've never been crazy about moonlight streaming. I think this is like kind of a gimmick, in my opinion. It's not something I would ever do on these handhelds, but for the people out there that enjoy this stuff, I guess, you know. And I will say the RGB looks like the best, the absolute best on the black model. I'm gonna pause here. So we're seeing ports. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, and there's another port coming up ahead, but this is really, really nice to see, because Anbernic has not been able to port these games in the past on the other XXs, and now they found a way to port those games. So I'm going to quickly go into the description to show you something. So this says right here, the system has been upgraded to 64-bit, and the device supports ported games such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Stardew Valley, etc. So my hope is we're going to get these games right out of the box. I'm talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge and Stardew Valley, which we'll see up ahead. One second. Celeste, this game is great. Here we have the gray model. Gray model looks exceptional. I wish they would have gone with a black bezel, just like the black version, but it is what it is. And finally, this amazing game. Now, I want to talk about this all new blue color. This is kind of a weird color choice. I don't know how well the RGB looks with the blue. I know this is a lot of people's like top pick of what they're gonna get. One thing I don't like is they went with a blue bezel. It would have looked way better with a black bezel, in my opinion. And then I don't know, there's something about the blue for me is just not, it's not right. Maybe it's the hue of it. I don't know. For me, I don't like the blue. But you guys let me know in the comment section below what you think of this all new blue. I like that Anbernic's experimenting with new colors, not just doing the same old stuff. I'm going to say it again. I really, really love to see the fact that they put Stardew Valley on this is just phenomenal. So doing some PSP. You know, we already know how the H700 runs, so this is nothing new. I want to take a moment to talk about some of the interesting placement of the buttons and stuff. So first of all, it's D-pad centric. That is amazing. Awesome, awesome. It looks like the same great D-pad Anbernic's been using. Again, we have the ABXY in the Nintendo configuration, which is always nice. Joysticks are on the bottom, so it's kind of like a kind of PlayStation style. They look like the same Nintendo Joy-Con kind of joysticks, except they have like the RGB around them. This is a thing with the H, right? This is everybody's biggest complaint, that the H's joysticks are not good. So basically what people say is like they snap to like cardinal directions. So Basically, you can only go, the joystick doesn't act like a true joystick with full 360 motion. It goes into like the 8 directions, you know, up, down, left, right, and then those diagonals. So this is what people hate about Anbernic. They just can't give you a true functioning joystick. Essentially what Anbernic does is they make their joysticks act like D-pads almost. So right here in the, when they're playing some GTA, I want to take a look at how the joystick actually performs. It looked like he was tapping it, or she. But yeah, that is one complaint a lot of people have of the H, which I'm hoping Anbernic finally improves, or at least gives us an option, right? Like, give us an option on how the joystick will behave, right? Give us an option to enable it to act like a D-pad for the people that like that, and give us another option to give us full 360 motion of like a true joystick. I think a lot of people would be happy with that. Just give us an option in the settings. Hey, joystick, act like this, you know, and that's it. And then everybody would stop complaining about that because it's such a stupid thing. Also, I wanted to talk about the menu button. I'm so happy to see the menu button here. Like, if I would have designed this, I would have changed a couple things. I would have put the start and select button up here, right? And then I would have put the menu button maybe here or here. And then I would have put the speakers front firing. I'm not happy to see the speakers be down firing. That's not the biggest deal because on the H it's the same way. However, front firing is always better. Front firing speakers are always better. So it's kind of annoying that Anbernic does the same thing, but whatever. Either way, I'm happy to see the menu button on the face and not in that awkward position where it was on the H, over on the top here, which was like super awkward. I'm gonna go ahead and keep playing the video. So here we're looking at some PSP Ridge Racer. This is a game that Anbernic loves to show off. And I don't know, I personally don't like to play PSP on this just because of the aspect ratio always leaves those black bars. Now this one scene right here really gets us a better look at how big the screen really is. That little extra ½ inch is going to make a huge difference. That's what she said. So obviously this is a 4-inch screen versus a 3.5 inch on the regular H. Like a ½ inch really does make a kind of a really big difference. You know, some of us with older eyes really appreciate the extra screen real estate. One concern people were bringing up was maybe that the fact that because it's stretched an extra ½ inch, maybe the pixels will be a little bit more visible because that 480 is now a ½ inch stretched and the pixel density is not as high. I don't know. This is not something I think is going to be a problem. We're going to be playing retro games on this thing and they're going to look great. That's how I feel. Some more DS gameplay over here. Personally, I feel like they should have given us a like American SNES colorway, like a cool gray with like different color purple buttons. I think that would have been much better than this. I think the DMG is already played out. A lot of people have been saying it, like the DMG is getting old. It's kind of boring already. Like, please give us something different, Anbernic. At least that's my opinion. I'd rather see a SNES colorway or something else than another DMG. Like, every device has a DMG for some reason. Also, I'm super happy they didn't go with any transparent models because that RGB would have been ruined with transparent. They did it on the 556. You've seen it on the Odin 2. The transparent doesn't look good with any sort of lighting. So I'm super happy they went with all solid colors. I find this really, like, personally really annoying. Like, you're playing Dreamcast, but you're not using the joystick, so you're not showing us how the joystick works. So, come on, Anbernic. Why are you using the D-pad right now? So I wanted to pause here because a lot of people were kind of drawing similarities to this device right here, the Trim UI Smart Pro. This is a device I showcased on the channel kind of briefly. So yes, the design looks very similar. You know, you have the same rounded corners, same RGB lighting, but there's a couple really important key differences. First of all, you don't have a little D-pad and you have full-size Nintendo Joy-Cons. They're not these like really bad sticks that are on the the TSP, but everything else is kind of a clone. Like you see here, the menu button is in the same spot, the start and select button in the same spot, and then it does have stacked shoulder buttons like the TSP. So of course, people are going to make the kind of comparison to this device. However, this is Anbernic we're talking about. This isn't Trim UI. They just make better stuff in general. And this is a 4x3 4-inch screen. This is way, way, way better for retro games. You're not going to have no letterboxing, no black bars on the sides for like some of those games. So in my opinion, this is going to be way better than the Trim UI Smart Pro. So of course, PlayStation 1, N64, all that stuff is going to play great. We already know how the H700 performs, so this is nothing new. And Anbernic, for some reason, they always showcase the same games. So I'm going to go ahead and skip the rest of this. It's the same usual Anbernic stuff. They show the multiplayer. They show some more Moonlight streaming, you know, same stuff. Of course, it has Wi-Fi, has Bluetooth. Same thing as the H. So all this stuff is kind of repetitive. But I do want to draw your attention to this last image where this shows off basically all the I/O and everything kind of important here. So, of course, stacked shoulder buttons, amazing. I don't know if the triggers are going to be analog. I hope they are. I don't think so, but out of all of them, I think the black looks the best, especially with the RGB lighting. It really helps it kind of stand out. If you're a person you appreciate the RGB lighting, I think the black is probably the best option. DMG looks solid, and then that blue, I don't know about the blue, guys. I'm not feeling the blue. Another thing, the edges are really, really rounded. Not just here. This is going to be super comfy to play on, and look at the rounding of these corners. This is really, really great. Nice to see. Top of this, over on the bottom, you got those stereo sound, dual down-firing speakers. You got your same 2-card setup over here, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. And then over on the top, we have a power button, a volume rocker, a LED light indicator. Looks really clean. This looks to be, this is your charging port, a reset button, and your HDMI out port. Most likely a mini HDMI port. So to sum things up, I got a little pros and cons list here of what this has over the regular 35XX. So first of all, it has a 1/2 inch bigger screen, a 4-inch screen. This is basically the biggest you can get before the device gets way, way too big. 4-inch, the screen is gonna look massive on this like tiny handheld. That's a big, big plus. Next, it's more comfy. As you can see, it's just a more ergonomic device. The sides are rounded, and of course it's taller, so it's gonna be better for people with bigger hands. So that's always nice. It has better button placement, specifically the menu button. The menu button on the H is in a terrible spot. Here it's on the face, very easy to access. You can touch every other button with it. So that's very nice to see. We also got ports. So we're going to be able to play Stardew Valley, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all those amazing ports that we weren't able to play on the 35XX without custom firmware will be now stock. So that wasn't on the H and it's on this one. So that's amazing. And then finally, we have those stacked shoulder buttons. As we all know, stacked shoulder buttons are way better than inline shoulder buttons. They're just easier to use. It's easier to differentiate between them. Overall, this is looking like a much better H. And like I said, the H was my #1 recommended device. If we go over to my channel here, you'll see the best starter retro handheld on the market, the RG35XX. I made this video 2 months ago talking about which handheld, if I had to pick any on the market right now, I would pick the H. And now we have basically the better H. The better H is out. So I know a lot of people are not excited for this one, but I'm excited for this one. And it seems like some other people are as well. I see like almost 14,000 views in just 13 hours. This is getting a lot of attention. So I'm calling it now. I'm thinking this is going to be the new best starter handheld. I did want to read the description with you guys. The RG35XX comes in 3 color options, black, gray, And blue, the system has been upgraded to 64-bit system, and the device supports ported games such as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Shredder's Revenge, as well as games from over 30 different platforms, including PSP, N64, Nintendo DS, DOS, Dreamcast, PS1, and more. The dual joysticks are equipped with a 16 million RGB halo light, 5 different ambient lighting modes, and support for adjustable brightness and color. The 4-inch IPS fully laminated screen, 640 by 480 resolution, display pixel to pixel for games running on Dreamcast, PS1, N64, and arcade emulators. It is equipped with 5G Wi-Fi module supporting Moonlight streaming to play AAA games on the handheld, as well as Wi-Fi multiplayer functionality. The device also supports HDMI connection to TVs and monitors, and Bluetooth 4.2 connectivity, allowing for multiple wireless controllers, unlocking home console-like gameplay. Games make happiness simpler. Ambernick invites you to embark on a gaming adventure together, and that's what we're going to do with this new device. So I want to read some of these comments as well, because everybody's complaining that they didn't get the more powerful version. RG4061 Ambernick, we need a 4x3, 4-inch 4x3 device that can play PS2 games, and I cannot agree more. Shout out Vlad Nerd. Ambernick, please, in the name of Nerdania, release a 4x3 cube or / RG556 handheld already. And everybody's pretty much saying the same thing. Joseph the Rocker says, I still can't believe you guys thought releasing this device on a weaker chipset. Then the 405M was a good idea. You literally added everything everybody could want in the buttons, gave a good enough screen that's big enough to balance pocketability and size, but then you slap a weak butt processor that could barely handle PSP. These monkey paw devices are getting exhausting and are straight up e-waste at this point. And I gotta disagree. I think this is great because guess what, guys? They're going to make that device anyway. They're going to make it anyway. This is Ambernick we're talking about. They release like a new handheld every 2 weeks. So that 406 4x3 successor to the 405M is coming. And hopefully it's plastic, because I'm tired of the metal, to be honest. I'm sorry, guys. But like it's coming. It's coming. This is just another successor to the H, which was already popular handheld, and just more options for you guys. So it's nothing to complain about. You don't have to buy it if you don't like it, right? But for the people that are interested, I think this is a great device. And especially for somebody that has never gotten any of these devices, because obviously for all the people that already have XXs, this may not make sense to buy. However, for the people that don't have a single device, this is going to be the first recommendation now. The RG40XX. This is going to be my #1 recommendation. I can tell already. I already know. So yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of the RG40XX? If you're picking one up, what color are you picking? What price range would you actually pick this up? I don't think Ambernick's going to go over $80, but who knows, right? Also, is this enough changes for you to warrant another purchase of another XX handheld from Ambernick? Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Definitely make sure to like and sub to get this video out to more people. This is Javi. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.